A real Thunderbird soars with the goal of conquering the power cruiser class. Its secret? It is different from all the other choppers over 1.5 liters of cubic capacity, and it is attacking the core sales territory of the cruisers with the V2 engines. The English are peculiar people. For breakfast, bacon and beans, go to school in a uniform, and for years have cheered a goal that really wasn't one. And when they build motorcycles, they also do things differently. The Triumph, for example, with the Tiger or Daytona with 3 cylinders, or a 3-cylinder even built into the side on the powerful 2.3-liter rocket. And when they went after the power cruiser, they also said yes, no V2, like the competition, rather a powerful parallel twin. What came out of it was a 1.6-liter engine with 86 horsepower, which powerfully drives the 340-kilogram load. The Triumph Thunderbird just keeps going and going. The sound reminds you of the hunting cry of the Thunderbird because a technical trick gets the parallel twin growling and gurgling like a V2 from Milwaukee. The secret? Crank pins that are set at 270 degrees on the crankshaft, and with those, a twin sounds as well known and as beautiful as a V engine. And a powerful drive demands adequate brakes. But the balanced Thunderbird can also do that. You really notice the sporty know-how of the Triumph engineers. It is definitely not a cruiser for just riding along on a straightaway. At the front, with its cruiser-typical wide handlebars and easy-to-see rear-view mirrors, a robust fork with 47mm thick Stanchion tubes dominates. 5 adjustable stereo suspension struts work at the rear, which can be set to various requirements, and chrome all over. Having an excellent polish nearby is a good idea. The heart of the Triumph Thunderbird is the water-cooled 1.6-liter powerhouse with 2 cylinders and light short-stroke design. The maximum torque of the 146 Newton-meters powers the Colossus with only 2,750 rotations. The 6-gear drive is easy to shift without a problem. Power in all situations, making cruising easy and a delight. The blood-curdling sound escapes through exhaust pipes that are as thick as your arm. Life is breathed into the twin in the English Triumph plant in Hinckley, just a couple of hours by motorcycle northwest of London. About 80 employees manufacture 300 engines per day. The twin for the Thunderbird, as well as additional units. Statistically, a bike comes off the end line every minute and a half. Of the 5,000 Thunderbirds produced each year, half of them go into enemy territory, the land of the V2, America. That the T-Bird is no rush job, but rather is well thought out, is shown by the 200 back tires made by the company Metzeler. Each tire is 17 inches. Also worthy of praise, the maintenance-friendly synchronous belt drive between both thick, chrome exhaust pipes. And surprising for an English motorcycle, the cultivated engine has good drinking manners. A plate metal 22-liter tank covers it, which, thanks to the civil levels of consumption, is good for up to 400-kilometer trips without having to stop for fuel. The Thunderbird is passenger-friendly, just like the majority of the competition. Narrow pillion seats and limited things to hold on demonstrate the riders of the power cruiser mostly ride single, but on a favorite two-wheeler. All manufacturers have to keep costs down, but at least Triumph has managed to have only small amounts of plastic parts, and those sound like metal. The high quality of overall impression of the Thunderbird is impressive. The big Triumph cruiser is called the Thunderbird. But Ford did not invent the name as you might think. Triumph did 60 years ago. The modern Thunderbird has earned the name thanks to its powerful engine. 146 Newton-meters of torque under 3,000 rotations. That means always a massive power from down below. It drives like a steer. And in addition, the advantage of this engine, there is no annoying V2 cylinder in the back, so that one can have a low seating level. That means you sit low, the footrests are not so far from the front. That makes for very upright, sporty sitting. Cruising and also applying gas makes the Thunderbird a lot of fun. On the back of the Thunderbird, the ride through the wind becomes a relaxed pleasure. But that feeling of mastery continues when you go a bit faster too. For example, it has good incline freedom in urban traffic. You don't expect that kind of versatility from this colossal Brit. Shifting gears is also very good. Raising your foot to downshift is only necessary if your legs are very long. The suspension elements of the specialist company Showa prove themselves during the ride. Knowledge in the construction of sports bikes such as the Daytona have been put into the development of the Thunderbird in Hinckley, and you notice that on the big and agile cruiser. And your ears will also like it. The sonorous sound of the twin with its V-sound is part of the fun of the ride. Every load alteration produces a nice sound. This Thunderbird is incredible. You can get the engine roaring at 1,000 rotations and it just produces this great power, just like you would expect. The Brits have really created an impressive motorcycle with the Thunderbird, a power cruiser for 14,500 euros including ABS, and that is, in comparison with the competition, pretty cheap. The English are stubborn. They have cheered the Wembley goal for years, which was not even behind the goal line. But for me, they really scored one here with the Thunderbird. The Triumph T-Bird handles all your daily driving, just as well as the big getaway over hundreds of kilometers into the sunset. The wide handlebars give you the feeling you have the whole world at your command, and that includes the home of the V2.